Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Good. So hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us this morning. My name is Romy Beard. I'm the Eiffel Licensing Program Manager, and I have here Rainer Schilke with me from Enago. So we're going to run a product training webinar to show you a little bit more about how authors can submit manuscript and what the benefits are. But first of all, I just want to take you to the Eiffel homepage here. I hope you can see my screen, and want to show you where you can find the information about the Eiffel Enago agreement. So here you can find it under the Eiffel Negotiated Research Support Services. And then click on Enago and you'll get to the Enago product page on the Eiffel website, where we have the pricing that we negotiated with Enago on behalf of authors in all the different countries. So it's 40 cents per word for copy editing and 60 cents per word for substantive editing. And Reinhard will go into a little bit more detail to explain the differences between the two. On this page, you then find all the information, including which countries are included at the very bottom here. Also, I already put the slides that you'll see later. They're already here, and I will add the link to the webinar on here. So if you're watching this later, welcome for joining us. The other thing to point you towards here, you've got the page where authors can submit manuscript. And again, on this page, there's more information about the pricing and what each of the services includes. So any authors that come through Eiffel that want to benefit from this discounted prices should submit their, should send their manuscript to Enago, and then they get a quotation for getting their manuscript edited before they submit it to a journal. Sorry. That's kind of all I wanted to show you. So I'll hand over to Reinhard and I'll stop sharing my screen. Also, if you have any questions, please feel free to pop them in the chat or the Q&A. I'll keep an eye on that.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Rainer Schilke. I'm the Vice President of Strategic Alliances of Crimson Interactive and Enago. And I'm happy to be invited by Romy and by Eiffel to give a quick introduction and presentation on the Enago services that are now available for Eiffel countries that we had licensed. So quickly an overview over Enago first. So the first presentation. About Enago, Enago is assisting authors and researchers to meet their publication success and to be more successful in publishing in primary journals or primary publishers. We have a very strong reach amongst individual researchers, both on the B2C level, but also on the B2B level with universities. We are the leaders in Southeast Asia, the #1 in author services and publication support services in Japan, Korea, and also in China, amongst top 3 players globally. We are providing language editing, English language editing, and publication support services. And we are the preferred partner for leading publishers, societies, and universities worldwide. So you can see that Enago offices are in many countries, Southeast Asia, in Asia a lot, in Turkey, in the US, in Brazil, but we also have offices and representations in the UK and of course in Germany, where I am based in Berlin. Here is a nice slide showing a number of very prestigious and important partners who that have decided to partner with Enago. You see publishers there, Elsevier, Wiley, IEEE, Team, a medical publisher, and you see some very prestigious and high-profile universities mentioned there as well, like University of Southern California, but also in Germany there is now, and in Austria, a number of universities partnering with us, very important universities and elite universities taking our copy editing services. A few words about the scientific editing and formatting services. That's the services that we have agreed with Eiffel that you can use from Enago. We have the copy editing services first, Copy editing services includes, for example, as you can see on the left-hand side of the slide, language and grammar check, which includes a language check, grammar check, and punctuation checks. You have the style and consistency, which checks the writing style check, does the reference check in figures and tables. And you have some free add-ons here, like word count reduction, journal formatting, certificate of editing, academy resources, and the manuscript rate card. And the after-sales support that's included in here is this 365 days, 1 year. You can check and correspond with the editor and ask questions and get the answers on this. This is all included by the copy editing, English copy editing service. Important to mention that this is always a two-factor system. So there's always two editors checking your paper. That's the one that's checking the language, English language, always native editors from the US, UK, Australia, or Canada. And there's a subject specialist, a subject matter expert who is checking the content of your paper so that everything really works and matches together. Now on this slide, you see the features of the substantive editing service. The substantive editing service is offering also language and grammar check, style and consistency, and technical accuracy. But in addition to the copy editing service, the substantive editing service is also offering the structural review, which includes checking the logical flow of your manuscript, the presentation, and doing also some content enhancements. This is only covered by the substantive editing. There's again the free add-ons, as you can see in the middle of the slide, and the after-sales support for the substantive editing also includes edited unlimited for 365 days. So for a whole year, you can send the paper back and forth if there is a need to do that with the editor, and they will do the changes, the required changes, or whatever needs to be done within the whole year. So that's a great service. On the right-hand side, you can also see the editorial workflow again, subject and language experts, proofreader and language review, senior editor review, and a quick check and audit. We also have a website where you can see some English editing samples. So before you maybe want to submit your own paper, you can have a look on the website, and there will be some samples showing you how the English editing works. You see here a range of different subject areas that you can click on, and then it will give you some samples of substantive editing and of copy editing as well. And you can see how the paper is going to look after it's been edited with commentaries and changes and additions if required. We also have, this is a website and the URL link you can use to get to these editing samples. But Romy will also distribute the presentation, the slides after our webinar today. So everybody will have the chance, opportunity at their own pace to check everything again. We can also show you some examples of successfully published papers in very important English language journals with primary publishers. There's also a special URL link that you can click, and then you get some examples of papers that been published after using our copy editing or substantive editing services. These are the success stories in form of accepted manuscripts. So these papers have all been accepted for publication by primary publishers after they went through the editing services of Enago. And you will find these examples and samples under the following link in URL that's listed, that's mentioned here on the slide. The quality satisfaction ratio from the past 15 years, that's the time that Enago is around basically, has been analyzed with over 99%. So that means papers that went through the editing procedure, either copy editing, but also substantive editing, have a chance of being accepted for successful publication, acceptance rate of over 99%, when it comes to all the issues and things that have been checked and rectified during the editing purpose. The repeat client ratio is between 77 and 85%. So that's also great success. That speaks for the high quality, the reasonable price, and also the reasonable timeline in which Enago is doing the editing service. You can see on the slide here that we're only using professional editors. We have working with around more than 3,000 editors in countries like Australia, Canada, UK, and the USA. So all native speakers, and they have a great experience, long-term experience, on average of more than 19.4 years of experience with editing. They're all published authors or peer reviewers themselves. So it's the highest quality assured here for your paper. How is the Enago different? Yeah, as I mentioned at the beginning, one of the main differences is to other services or editing services, author services, that Enago is using the double factor service. That means specialized subject area matching of editors within the subject area of your paper, plus language experts and native speakers from these 4 countries I mentioned. So that is the Enago promise of the high quality. You also have the opportunity, of course, to access Enago Academy. That's a special section on the web of Enago where you can learn. That provides ebooks on publication updates, provides online resources for researchers, for publishers, authors, editors, and students. There will be author workshops, and now at the moment, of course, online webinars, also a lot of free webinars that you can look at your own pace. So there's a lot of learning and education here that Enago is providing, which you can also use, of course. And again, as Romy already mentioned in the beginning, this is the important URL link that will take you to your dedicated Enago Eifel landing page, to the order portal and inquiry portal, where you can place your inquiries and your orders for editing. So thank you very much for the first part of this presentation. There will be another one where I will show you on how to use the landing page and how to submit your orders.
Thanks so much, Reinhard. Let's have a little break and see if there's any questions from any of the participants about the different services. I think the links to the examples are quite useful, and I put that on the Eifel website as well, so people can actually see how, even sentences that might look grammatically correct, but just to make them a little bit more efficient, a little bit more scientific, and better writing to get the argument across. I think those are really good to look at. Do we have any questions? Please feel free to put them in the chat or the Q&A. I can't see anything here. Okay, then let's move on, and we'll think about more questions, and we have time for that at the end.
Okay, now we get to the second part of the session. That's an important one that will lead you through the process on how you can submit your paper for the editing work, either copy editing or substantive editing. So how to send a manuscript to Enago via your dedicated landing page URL. You see again on top of the slide the URL link of your dedicated Eifel landing page that will lead you to your landing page, which is a screenshot on the slide. That's how it's going to look. This is the first front page of your landing page. Eifel on the left side logo, Enago on the right side the logo, and it says professional native English editors with an average experience. And there is a button that says submit now. So this is a button that says submit now here. There you will need to click first, and that will take you to the second page of your landing page, which is called the quotation page. This is how the quotation page looks like. So there you will find quite a number of fields, of entry fields, where you need to make some entries which are important so that the editing team and the editors will do the best job they can based on your specific requirements and demand. So first of all, you enter your email address here on the top left, which is the step 1 of your inquiry order form. Then very important, you have to upload your paper and your manuscript for editing from your system, and maybe any reference file as well. So you have to upload it here. That's very important to calculate, to do the word count and to calculate, of course, also the final fee, the price of the editing service for your paper. Then you choose any level of service here according to your own requirements. We highly would recommend substantive editing because it's the most thorough editing. It includes, as I mentioned on the first presentation slides, it includes a bit more services than the normal copy editing. So substantive editing or copy editing, you can put in here, you can choose whatever you feel is necessary. And then you can also choose, or you have to choose the time of delivery. The standard delivery is usually 5 days. So we say that around 1,000 words of editing is more or less equal 1 working day to edit. There is also another option, we call it an express option. It's called 2 days, for 2 days. So if there's an urgent need, an urgent case where you need to have something done in a very, very short and quick time, you can of course also use express option, but that will then go with a premium charge of 30% on top of your special pricing for 2 days. In most cases, researchers and authors from academia and research are using the standard option of 5 days or whatever days, depending on the length of your manuscript. So these entries you need to do here. There's more entries to do. You may select the subject area and the specialization of the manuscript in this section. So that's quite important because we do need to know, our project and client service team needs to know which editors to choose for your paper, the best possible subject matter expert for your paper, covering the specific subject area. You can also hear any specific instructions pertaining or relating to your manuscript. You can put in here if you have any special wishes or extra requirements. You may enter your personal details in this section. It's of course important. And then last but not least, at the end, you see the submit button again, right on the bottom. And there you click on submit and you will receive a reply and a quotation from Enago within 60 minutes of time. So that goes very, very quick. Then you will receive an email. It's called quotation email. After you have filled in the form, you will receive the quotation email from an ID that says submit@enago.com. This includes all the details of the word count of your paper, the final fee, the costs, and the delivery dates. So if you look at this square here, this is an important square that gives you all the information. It gives you the word count. It gives you then the agreed rate for either copy editing or substantive editing, as we had agreed with Eiffel in our agreement. It tells you then the final cost based on the number of words and the agreed fees and the service you have picked, either copy editing or substantive editing. And very important, it gives you the exact deadline until when you can expect to receive your final edited paper. You will need, though, to confirm within a certain time frame to make sure that you really receive your paper within the deadline. If you confirm very late, then the deadline will, of course, also be delayed. So that's very important. You may then click to confirm or revise the quotation. You can also decline or reject the quotation. If you're not happy with it, it can just be an inquiry. You can find out how much it's going to be, copy editing or substantive editing for the number of words for your paper. And then when you're happy with it, you can confirm and approve the quotation. You click on this link here on the bottom. And once you have confirmed, you can also make the advance payment within the system. Then you will again receive a confirmation email. After receiving of the payment confirmation email from, again, the email ID submit@enago.com. Below is the example of the confirmation email. It will again tell you the number of words, the total fees, and the deadline when you can expect to receive your final edited paper. At the time of the delivery date, you will again receive just an alert email. Enago will send you the email notification with a direct link to download the file. So we will not just send you your file as an email attachment. you will have to download the file yourself. That's for security reasons. This email will, all the email it's filled out in the inquiry form, all the email IDs that you have filled in will receive this alert email. A sample of email notification is given here below. So you can see step 1, you have to log in using this link with your password, your login details and your password. Step 2, after logging in, you will be redirected to a download file section where you can download your final edited paper. You can also receive it if you wish to receive it by email. Then you will have to click on this link and request your paper by email as an attachment. The final files may have comments from our subject matter experts, editors. It is important that you clarify them. You can also ask questions related to the changes made in your manuscript. So you can always write back to the email address submit@enago.com and you will receive proper answers and replies if you have any questions or concerns with your paper or with your finally edited file. Sorry. Yeah, this is actually the end of the process. Thank you very much for listening and for your attention. And please feel free to ask any questions now or at any later time. You will receive the presentations from EIFEL, so you can have a look at it. And it will be also available via the EIFEL website, of course. So please feel free to either contact Romy, contact EIFEL, or contact me directly for any questions you may have in this regard. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you
Romy?
so much, Reinhard. And just to finish, I'm just putting the link to the Enago page on the chat box. So if you go into that page, there's more information, there's links to the slides, and also a link to the page where you can submit. So please feel free to have a look at that. And my email address as well, if you have any questions, and I can always collect them and forward them to Reinhard. I can't see any questions just now, so I think we'll just wrap up, short and sweet. That's always good. Thanks everyone for taking the time to attend. And like I said, there's my email in the chat if you have any other questions later on. Thanks so much, Reinhard. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Romy, for inviting me to do this. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot. Bye.